Okay. All right. Welcome back. We are doing a live recap of Elite Agents with Monica Church, who was one of the favored speakers during our event, talking about our YouTube channel, her journey, doing stuff with social media and getting business out of it, doing a transition from a vlog style uh, YouTube channel into real estate and her change there. I loved her talk and I loved a lot of things that she said as far as like having to make that change and now being the real estate agent, not just the girl that did vlogs. So it was a really, really good talk. Monica, welcome to the recap.
Hey, thanks for having me. Loved being at the event. Oh, thanks for saying I was favored. I loved everyone that spoke.
Yeah, we had a lot of really great speakers, and when I'm looking at the feedback, everybody loved your talk. So why don't you give us a quick breakdown of kind of what you talked about and some of the key points, and we'll keep going from there.
Yeah, so pretty much I told my story about going from just being a 13-year-old kid that, you know, liked watching YouTube to jumping into creating videos, sharing my life, and then I would say 13 years into it, deciding I want to become a real estate agent. I bet, I could work with people from that. Created a new channel specifically for real estate. And yeah, it's my main point of getting business and just sharing tips on how to, I think the big thing that I like to do is I come from a background of just absolutely loving videos and loving the filmmaking process. I went to film school for a little bit, nothing fancy. I went for a year at a community college. We're not talking USC here. But I learned enough there and I took that and I really take pride in trying to make very entertaining videos because as an agent, you should start simple and you can just sit in your office or have a green screen, and you can get by and you can get leads. But when you're ready to kind of level up your storytelling and take a lot of pride in making some really cool videos, I am your girl to help you with that.
Nice.
Especially because every day more and more agents are getting on. So what's that way that you're going to create community and, yeah, keep certain people with you versus all the other agents? And I think there's room for everyone as well.
You know what I love about your content for the last 3 years, I've been focused on one style of content, teaching one style of content. Your content's a little bit different, right? So like mine's like, here's news, here's information, here's what neighborhoods to be in, here's what you need to get.
Mhm.
And yours is more like, hey, here's a really nice neighborhood. I'm going to show you really cool shots of the neighborhood. More of a you brought in from your old channel, not your old channel, but your other channel, this vlog style, informational style, really artistic style into real estate. Tell us about that transition. How was that making the change and how much business do you see from the channel?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it all comes down to make the content that you want to make. So you like making videos, reporting more on the news, which I kind of took from that. I was like, dang, I got to make a video going through some of just the headlines in Seattle because I'm missing out there, right? And just commenting on them. I think sometimes I'm not like the most interesting person and I use B-roll as a crutch where I'm like, oh, a beautiful shot of a neighborhood. People will like the video more when that's not true. I'm sure people, if I just sat here, people would still like it, but it's easy to kind of get into that insecurity. Totally got off topic. What was the question?
Well, no, I think that's a good point. Let's go there because I hear a lot of agents when they talk about video, they're overwhelmed by what to shoot and what style content to shoot. And you said something really important in there. You just use a lot of B-roll. And so
Mhm.
what for people that don't understand what B-roll is like, let's say you were to do just walk around your town and all you did was take video clips of the house you're looking at or the area, and then all you did was voiceover. So you're looking at the things and then you're seeing what you're talking about as a voiceover. Very similar what Monica does a really good job, and what I try to do on mine is I will talk about a full subject and then put the B-roll over the top of it. So
Mhm.
it's me talking and then you see what I'm talking about. And Monica does a really good job of making that more artistic than the way I do it, which comes out like way better. But for people that are worried about being on camera, do you think that's a really good idea? Because you said you feel insecure. So instead of being insecure, just put, virtually video out and you talk over the top of it.
Yes, I think that's such a good idea. I've actually found a few like faceless YouTube channels in Seattle. They're not even real estate agents, but there's this one guy who just kind of goes about his life. He doesn't even show his face, but sometimes his body, like making breakfast, and he'll do these voiceovers about his experience. And it honestly makes me even more curious. Like, I want to know the face behind it. And voiceovers are so extremely engaging. So, another thing I do is I really, and this is something I was kind of taught in the film classes that I took, is, you know, being a student to how films work and looking at what's always worked. And when you think about movies, when they use a voiceover, it is so extremely engaging when a character starts talking to you in a movie. And in movies, they use it pretty sparingly, but when they do, if you were dozing off, you are back in it. The character directly talking to you like that. There's something really special about it. So to try and keep my viewers engaged, I do try and mix in voiceover and just me talking to the camera. And I'll try and alternate a bit because it keeps people engaged and waiting for that next beautiful video montage that's going to just feed them visually, and the voiceover that is extra engaging, just kind of talking into their ear. So yeah, but I think you're right. I think people could totally do videos just completely without being in it. And it is so much easier because you know what you can do then is you don't have to worry about how you look. You don't even have to worry about getting your lines done because you can just write it all out. And when I do voiceovers, I take my little microphone here, and I even just plug it into my phone. And it's not the best quality, but it's actually good enough. And I do that because you got to do what's easiest, right? So I
Right.
talk into it, and then I just airdrop it to my computer really quick. And yeah, and I just write a script, right? But I do try, and I'll do a couple iterations where I do just talk it, but if people can tell you're just talking a script, that's not good, right? So I'll do a couple tries where I just talk it as a safety, and then I'll do a couple tries where I kind of let myself, improvise a little bit, go off topic, and try and only reference what I said. And usually, if you practiced a couple times talking it directly, you'd be surprised. Your brain is going to remember a lot of it. I was just doing that with there was this brand integration I was doing this week, and I had to get this minute script, like pretty much exactly done how they wanted for the brand. It was a bank, so they're like very strict about what I could say.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this. I downloaded a teleprompter app, right? And I did it with a teleprompter thinking it would be great. And then I was like, no, it looks like I'm talking into a teleprompter. But I practiced it a couple times, and I was surprised how I was able to actually pretty much remember the whole thing and not struggle with that.
Yeah, that's, you know, my style of videos. I bullet point things and then I go off topic and then I really have
Mhm.
to edit it back down. So having a good script definitely helps too, especially when you're trying to really nail some points, the right way. But I'm more of a shoot from the hip guy, and I find that I can be a little more creative. And there's, I think there's, you will need a fair amount of planning in any video. So having a script, I think, is super important. But I
Yeah.
like how you have to do it a few times, and it's just, a lot of people see what's on camera. They don't see all the practice, all the hard stuff that went behind camera.
Oh man, yeah, talk about practice. Literally a day where I'm filming, when I'm writing it out, I am actually saying it out loud. And when I know I'm going to film that day, I'm like curling my hair, getting ready, saying it. And thinking of different ways, different angles I might want to go. And it's funny, it's just like how an actor probably, like practices their lines, and I'm just trying to think of the way I can be the most engaging.
I tell people my prep for my videos is legitimately is I'll spend a little bit of time writing up what I'm going to do, the bullet points, and then I'll go take a shower. And literally in the shower, I'm saying the whole thing in my thing, and I literally out of the shower straight into filming.
Yeah. I'll like be on a walk, and you know how going on a walk really helps you get good ideas. And it is so true. Like I'll just go on a walk, and it does help me think of video ideas. I'll start talking to myself on my walk, or in the most random times. And there was another YouTuber recently that talked about that. And I was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not weird. And a lot of creators do that, I think. And so it's a good practice to just like get what you were going to say out and see if it feels natural, see if it comes across how you want it to.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So as far as like getting business, the reason why we spend so much time, well, let's talk about this first. So your preparation for a video, A, how much does a preparation take? And then B, when you're putting out a video, how many videos a week are you trying to put out on, let's just focus on the real estate side. So your real
Mhm.
estate channel, what's the prep for a video, the shooting time, and then actually getting the video out?
Yeah, so I would say I'm filming a neighborhood tour this week. Yesterday, I started writing it out, and that took me, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, nothing crazy. And then I went and shot a bunch for probably 6 hours. And I don't know if you've ever filmed a neighborhood tour video, but they're exhausting. Okay.
They are.
Well, I walked that much for my neighborhood tour video. And so
Wow.
15,000 steps, yeah, and so, I went and I filmed a lot, and then I come back and I'm like, "Okay, I did that good 6-hour chunk, and but I didn't get enough." And I realistically, I probably got enough, but I wanna make the video better. So, I feel like every video I do at least 2 shoot days of, and that was a 6-hour chunk, right? And so I just kind of I know myself and I know, okay, I'm not going to be able to film a whole neighborhood tour and walk like 25,000 steps in a day, right? Or
Right.
whatever
That's
it
a
is.
lot.
Yeah, and so usually a neighborhood tour does take me 2 to 3 um
Very good.
shooting chunks, shooting blocks, and when I get the footage, I think it's so important, immediately if you're editing your own videos, come back, import the footage, and start editing immediately. It's when you're the most excited about it. Oh my gosh, sorry. I know the
Very
text will
good.
stop, but, and if I wait, then I call it stale footage, and then
Yeah.
I don't wanna edit it, so I think that's really important. But, yeah, I would say on my real estate channel, I'm shooting for once a week. I don't know if you go try and do more, if it overwhelms the viewer too much. I'm kind of switching up what I'm doing. So I have my main channel where it was very confusing, but I put a lot of effort into those videos. I'm kind of throwing that all away and I'm just going to put vlogs up there that don't take a whole lot of effort.
Yeah.
And my real estate channel is now going to become like my full-time focus. But it's kind of scary because the other channel has like 1 million subscribers and this one has 20,000. But I think this smaller channel is much more important and does a better job of like helping me in my career versus that big one. So the subscribers, the views, all that stuff doesn't matter as much as you'd think.
Yeah, that was one point. Yeah, I think Trey made that point, and you did too. So a lot of agents like, oh, I can't get to 15,000 subscribers. Really, I know Trey was getting business at like 700 subscribers, and
Mhm.
so that takes a few months. And I think if you put in the layers of work, right? When you go to the gym and start to work out, you don't automatically get thin. I'm going through the process now, but you don't automatically get thin going 1 week. It takes multiple weeks. It takes lots of practice. And I think that's the thing, real estate agents, we want that quick dollar. We want that quick turnaround, that quick
Yeah.
view. And it's really important to understand that if you're going to get business from YouTube, it's going to take 3 or 4 months. But once you built that pipeline just does not shut off. It's a constant revenue stream. I mean, are
Mhm.
you still seeing a lot of leads from your channel? Is that why you're focusing still on the real estate channel?
Yeah, yeah, I would say, man, Trey blew me out of the water there. I I also I don't know, I think different markets might naturally not get as many leads as others, right? Like,
Right.
um, but in Seattle, it's pretty good. It's still a pretty big relocation market, but I think a big chunk of the people that are, creating movement in the market right now aren't really first-time home buyers,
Yeah.
aren't really relocation people. A lot of those people are kind of on hold. So I'm still getting, maybe 1 or 2 leads a week. And then some of them, just because of the nature of the market right now, we have a great call, we stay in touch, but then they're like, "Actually, I don't wanna buy quite yet," maybe next year. So I think that's just the market right now. But when things were crazy, I would get like two a day, which would
Yeah.
be insane. So it's so expensive here in Seattle, right? Like $1 million gets you a house that's not even that nice at all. And so that's kind of tough. And it's mainly relocation first time buyers, but occasionally it's, people selling or people that have bought before and just don't keep in touch with their old agent. And so I think just because of the movement of the market and the people that are buying and selling right now aren't as much people that are watching my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I'm still steadily selling and getting clients that I am working with, but it's nothing super crazy. I'll probably sell this year like 20 houses again.
See, I think that's important too. If you could ramp that up and do more, I think Byron was really like, you could be doing 100 million, 120 million. And you're like, well, I don't want to,
Mhm,
that sounds good, but that's not where I want to be right now. And so I think it's the same thing, like with the YouTube channel, spend time doing something you love. Like if you really love doing the videos, make them as good as you want, because you're going to get the clients that want to work with you in the market that you work in. And, there's agents that are saying, oh, I can't do this in a small market. Well, a good friend of mine, Rod Olawan, he has a channel in New Braunfels. He doesn't want to work anything outside of New Braunfels. It's,
mhm,
I think there's 60, 70,000 people in New Braunfels now. So it's not a small city. It's growing.
mhm.
And he is dominating that market because all he talks about is New Braunfels. All he talks about is New Braunfels. And I think, if you're looking at a YouTube channel and you're trying to go, oh, I'm in a small market, that's great. There's so much opportunity because you chances are your competition for YouTube is going to be very small.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Hmm. Sometimes I think about I get scared to niche down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Seattle, you can be Bellevue, you can be Redmond, you can go to Tacoma. And right now, I tell people, yeah, I'll work pretty much anywhere from where I'm at, an hour out. But sometimes I wonder if I said only a couple specific places, if I would maybe just get more people reaching out.
It's possible, and we talked before we hit the live here. The good thing about this, and depending on the brokerage you're at, if you did a whole city tour, right? So I'm South Austin, but I talk a lot about North Austin, what's happening in North Austin. I don't want to work in North Austin. I don't want to even like get past the river. I get weak in the knees. I don't want to drive all the way up there. It's like a totally different world. Yet we sell a lot of homes up there. Well, we have it structured where the leads come through. They go to somebody on my team. If it's a Georgetown lead, it goes to this agent on my team. If it's a Leander lead, it goes to, and now I don't have to drive as far. I can go do the things I want to do, like shoot content, go meet people, go meet the people I want to meet. And so that's the cool thing about being in a bigger city. But again, you could, if you wanted to just niche down and only be such a small part of your city, that's a great way to do it as well. Is just, having the right key players. So that'll take a little bit for just
Yeah,
anybody else. I'm not saying that to you. So
totally. But yeah, that's something I want to work on, getting that system in place the way you've done.
yeah, it works. It works really well. And, to still get a paycheck for stuff that in an area you don't even want to be in. So this is like with channels that do a big state, like, I know agents that do the whole state. They just talk about the whole state.
Yeah,
Well, they've done that thing that I've taught them, just find agents in that city and give all those leads to that person. Maybe have them shoot the footage. Like, hey, part of the deal here is you film me a bunch of footage of the area and I'll talk about it, put on the channel, and then promote you as my agent. Win-win.
totally. Yeah. I definitely want to do that sort of thing. You know what my problem is? I can't get past being like, oh, if I want to, talk about, let's say Chelan. Chelan is probably like close to 5 hours from Seattle, Eastern Washington, really great, like second home market there. I would be like, no, I have to go there and film it myself and make it really good. But in reality, I probably don't. I probably can't just sit there and talk about it for 10 minutes and be done with it.
Yeah. Ian. Oh, Ian's. Are you on, Ian?
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I had a hard time getting on the internet, but thank you so much, Monica. Thank you, Jeremy. Um, yeah, where we
What
at?
were some of your big? So we've been kind of going through the takeaways and talking with Monica. What were some of your takeaways from her talk?
Well, one of the big ones is the way that she does her stories, whenever she's talking about a YouTube video, not only does she talk about the location and what's happening, she will physically go to the location. So it gives people like that enhanced level of trust that they see exactly what's like, hey, I know about this bridge behind me. I know about this park behind me. That is invaluable for people. She doesn't have to say I know it because she's there showing it and talking about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else did you have from her talk?
So I think the consistency, the fact that a lot of people might assume that you jumped in and did this overnight, right? But you've been doing it for a long time, and you've learned the ins and outs of YouTube. And for those that do or don't know, not only have you done it once, you've actually transitioned from two different types of channel, and so you have millions of subs on multiple channels. And so being able to build a business like that is incredible. It takes a lot of time, a lot of skill, but you also have to provide a lot of value for people to want to subscribe. So all of that was it was huge. I think you
Awesome.
talked about, I think Monica also talked about actually having a goal, like a target to shoot for, instead of just saying, oh, well, I want views, because that doesn't do anything, right? So, but saying, I want X number of views and I'm going to follow a plan to get there.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yep. It's so important to, have your subscriber goal, something you feel like you can believe, as well as a content goal to go with it, because you can't control if you'll get subscribers. You can control if you can create that content. And if you focus on the thing you can control, you're gonna get the thing you can't control as a result, most likely.
yeah. Ian said something really that I like there. So what is your goal with the channel?
Ooh, my goal with my channel?
Yeah.
I'd be curious your thoughts. So I want to consistently be posting once a week because I honestly haven't been. I've had that channel for 2 years and I don't even have 50 videos. So I'm going to really make that change of being much more consistent now that it's my main focus. So at least once a week, but I don't know, do you do twice a week and do you recommend that? I mean, maybe once a week's really high effort and the second part of the week is me kind of commenting on things happening in Seattle too. Things I saw in Seattle this week.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thought because so I've been going through this channel crisis, if you will. I've been doing all the newsy stuff and I found that what I was getting into is just incessant negativity, right?
Mhm.
Because this comes out here. And because the problem is, your channel started out light, airy, breezy. Mine
Yep.
started out the same. But as I started talking about the market, it started really getting in the weeds and people really wanted the positive things did not drive people to watch the views. It was all the negative things that drove people
Yeah.
to the clicks. And so now, and I'm just tired of it. Like in my soul, it hurts to continue to talk about negatively about Austin or talk negative about the market. I mean, we were all dealing with the negativity in the market as it is now, but it just feeds so many negative comments, which are fine because they help. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to do a change as well. I'm doing a little bit more walking, talking tours, a little more similar to what you're doing
Mhm.
and transitioning. But then what I'm trying to do is still do that informational. And so what I'm doing is I have Ian on and we do the news videos through Real Amigos. So we'll talk about the news. We'll get people's feedback. What's nice is then like you have banter back and forth with people, kind of like how Byron does on the hot sheet. He
Mhm.
learned that from me, by the way. And so it's fun. So would you think about maybe doing live streams on your channel in the future? Or and I want to
Mm.
get your comments on shorts in a minute, but what do you think about integrating some live streams?
Yeah, I've never done live streams, but maybe that's something I should give a try. Maybe I'll even try it this week because I'm certainly not afraid to. I mean, I used to a long time ago when I was just a kid, like hop on a live stream for fun, but I've never done it and thought about it as a strategic way to like create engagement and content and things like that. So,
One of the things you had talked about was building a community. And I
mhm.
think to Jeremy's point, if you did start implementing live streams, all that is you having conversations with your existing community. So I think
Yeah.
it just strengthens your community.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're a pro with playlists, so literally just have those as a playlist, right? And so
Mhm.
that way it cleans up your channel a little bit too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, and just have a theme, like, "Let's talk about the market this week," or things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, what we do is I'll pull up, I'll watch like the hot sheet or something like that, and I'll look to see what the national news is. And so that way we can go, well, nationally, here's what's happening. Now let's compare
Mhm.
that to Austin. I think that
Yeah.
would be really great too. Or what we've done is we'll bring on agents, like we brought you onto the channel and did like Austin versus
Oh yeah.
Seattle. And you have a really great video on your channel about that. I highly recommend people watch that video.
Mhm.
Yet those style of videos you're bringing on other people is really helpful too. I mean, you have a good people amount of people around you in Seattle that you could bring on and do Q&As on. So
Totally. No, that's a
yeah.
good point. I got to do that.
Did you talk about equipment already?
We kind of talked about equipment. I think that's really important. Yeah, let's talk about your equipment.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sometimes I use my phone. I think if you're starting out, you should just start on your phone. It's the easiest thing. Don't spend a bunch of money on a nice camera quite yet. See if you like it. What if you hate it? Then go try something different like Google Business, like Tammy does, right? Because not everyone needs to do video. I think if you do it and you like it, like you should. But some people, maybe it's just never going to work for them. I know people that just seize up on camera and it's just, they seriously can't do it. But hopefully don't tell yourself that limiting belief. But I would say definitely start on your phone. So love the Peak Design tripod. This is the thing I've been gatekeeping for a while, but I'm finally telling it to everyone. It's so helpful. And then the DJI. In my head, I always say it like DGI.
Yeah.
DJI. They should just change their name. DJI.
Yeah.
DJI microphone's so helpful. And that's all you need to get started, as well as CapCut, I would say, for editing is great. People ask me if it's on Instagram or if it's short form. Do I edit it on my phone? And I think I mean, I don't, because I hate it. I hate how tedious it is trying to
Yeah.
to just trim things that way. So I don't do that, but you should, if that makes you happy, if you like doing it that way, more power to you, do it that way. But I personally airdrop everything to my computer, edit it on there. It's a pain though, and I'll put all this effort into making a short, and then I'll feel burnt out already for the day. So it's kind of a problem that I have. So I'd say do whatever is easiest for you. But then if you're ready to invest in a nicer camera, let's say I have a Canon R6 is what I'm working with these days. There's so many good cameras. I'm not a big Sony person. Never loved Sony that much. I used to have Panasonic cameras for a while. Loved those. You really gotta see what you like the most, but I really like the Canon R6 because it's got great quality. You can shoot it in the log mode where it's really flat and cinematic looking, or in the normal mode where it's more punchy and normal, and that's great. What's really cool about it is this super wide lens here, 16 millimeter. It's so small. Other cameras, their lenses that have the same effect, they're like so much bigger and bulkier. So this one's so easy for me to take around. I really like this camera a lot. And then this is just a tripod from Sony. And I like it for on the go because I just sling my camera around myself like this. I don't care if I drop it, if I bump it into things. Like this thing's so durable. I dropped it a couple weeks ago pretty bad and it was fine. It was fine.
Nice.
So I'll have it slung around my shoulder and people are like, be careful. And I'm like, no, you seriously, you don't own a camera and it shows because these things are so durable. But yeah, I like this tripod just because if you press in here, it moves. So you can, prop it on your desk real easily and get the shot. You can be in a house and get it to have the angle that you need. And this is just by Sony. It has all these, if you have a Sony camera, it has these things where you can hit record from there. I don't use any of that. So
Yeah.
I know people like those Joby tripods, right? I actually have, let me grab this one that
I have this one right here.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is really cool that you showed with the camera is that you actually have the flip out screen so you can see yourself, because I think a lot of people miss that little part of it. It's like, well, you can still see yourself with that kind of camera.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's tough to frame yourself without having a flip out. Like I have, I'm going to do some vlogging today. You inspired me to do my own vlogging where Portia has the Macan unveil. And then I'm going to there's a property at a broker open in Terrytown, which is a really exclusive area.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go like the day of a luxury real estate agent and just go to the McCann thing and then go through there and see how it turns out. If it's crap,
That's
it's
super
crap.
cool.
Yeah.
No, I think that'll be
So
great. Also, I just want to say I hate these Joby tripods though.
I hate these things.
They're so annoying. They're way too big. And when I found this, it was like, oh, it's so easy. You don't have to worry. Sure, it can't, attach to a pole, but you know what? We don't need to have it attaching to like crazy mechanisms to get a
Yeah.
video.
One thing I wanted to ask you about is shorts, because everybody, real estate agents like to do short content because it's easier. Do you like shorts on your YouTube channel? A, and then B, do you think they help grow your channel or get you business?
Oh no, I hate them. I think they're stupid. I haven't really done much of them. I'm such a long form person. I just like that. I think shorts might be good because, if you search something in YouTube, like moving to Austin, YouTube does put in some shorts that it recommends as well. You know what I mean? But when people are searching things, I feel like they aren't searching for shorts as much. Shorts are just not, people are just going on TikTok more. But if you were already making that short form stuff and it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, obviously you might as well put it on YouTube Shorts too. But if you're going out of your way to just do a YouTube short, I think you're better off creating long form. But I haven't explored a ton. I've had a short that has gotten, 3 million views or whatever, and I didn't see a huge change in my channel.
well, that's because you're over 1 million subs, so that's that's hard.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say her other channel is only about 20 only. It sounds so bad when I say it. It's about
not
20,000. Yeah.
that's incredible. So just to kind of touch back on the equipment just for half a second, are you saying that you want people to go out and buy the new iPhone 15 Pro? Is that what you're saying?
If they don't have an iPhone, then they should. If they have an iPhone that has the 3 lenses on it, then you're good with whatever you have, I think. But yeah, Androids, the video quality is weird. I think, you use it as your phone if you like that, and get like a burner iPhone that's just your like camera thing.
Burner iPhone, because I heard you say earlier, AirDrop it to your Mac and like
Yeah.
Windows, Android. You can't do that. So.
Well, Ian is a big Android lover and got shamed into buying an iPhone. So
I think it was the right choice that you made.
well, awesome, Monica. You did an amazing job at the event. I really do thank you for flying out, taking the time out of your schedule, and then helping us with the recap here. If people want to find you, what's the best place for them to find you?
Just search my name, Monica Church, on any social media. Instagram, a lot of spammers make fake accounts of me, so just follow my @Monica Church one. I also have a Monica Church real estate one there, and then on YouTube, search Monica Church. You will find me. And my email's in the description. You know how to get a hold of me if you need me.
Awesome. Ian, thanks for putting on a good event with us. Monica, thanks for coming. We'll see you in the next video.